think yesterday you have started with the lesson social and religious reforms. Isn't it, children? I started with that lesson and I told you I'll be continuing it today. Okay, so today I am going to continue the lesson social and religious reform. What was taught yesterday? What was explained yesterday? That was what was the cause for the social and religious reforms? Is it? What was the main cause? I told you that is due to the influence of Western thoughts. Okay, Western culture, Western tradition, Western belief and Western social ideals. So these were all the things which encouraged them to, that is taught social and religious reform movement. Okay, so now I explained about you, that is Rajaram Mohan Rai. I told about his life history. What was he supporting? Okay, what was the institution that he started? He started that is Brahma Samaj. Brahma Samaj he started, and what was the Brahma Samaj consists, that is child marriage, sati system, caste system, idol worship, polygamy and many other things he restricted. He was not in favor of all this. Okay, but he was in favor of widow marriage, widow remarriage. Okay, and William Bentinck he abolished the sati system in 1829. Then also I explain about Atmaram Panduranga. He established the Pratna Sabha in 1867. Okay, then I told you about Mahatma Jyotibai Phule. He started the Satya Sodhak Samaj in 1873. And what was that when? He criticized the Brahminical supremacy and initiated a dialogue, that is on it. He opened schools for girls with his wife Savitribai Phule. These are all what. Then next I told you about Swami Dayananda Saraswati. He started the Arya Samaj in 1875 CE. Understood? Then I told you there is in order to bring the converted people back into Hindu Dharma. So this Shraddhananda, a disciple of Dayananda, he started the Shuddhi movement. And now today I am going to start with Swami Vivekananda. You know who is Swami Vivekananda? Yes, Swami Vivekananda, he was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. His first name was Narendra Datta. Narendra Datta was his first name. Okay, Swami Vivekananda, he was born in Calcutta in 1863 January 12. He was born in Calcutta. And what was his saying is, arise, awake, stop not till you reach the goal. This was what he inspired the youth people. He inspired them, arise, awake, be alert. Don't stop until you reach your goal. You struggle until you reach your goal. This was the saying, this was the message that is the Swami Vivekananda gave to the youth of Indians. Indian youths, he gave this message. Okay, he was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He later took sannyasa. After the death of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he had the responsibility. After the death of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that is his guru, he had the responsibility that he should spread the religion. He should follow the guidelines of his guru Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. His talk at First World Religious Conference in Chicago. First conference, that is the World Religious Convention in Chicago in 1893 brought him fame and recognition. That was the first meeting, first convention which was held in Chicago in 1893. That one was the one which brought him fame, which made him famous, which made everybody to know about Swami Vivekananda. He appreciated many of the achievements of the West and equality of women. Okay, through that many of the people came to know about Swami Vivekananda. Many of them came to know about Vivekananda after the meeting that was held in Chicago. His recognition became famous. His name became famous. Okay. Vivekananda, he transferred across India on foot. He walked on foot and was deeply moved by the plight of Indians. Where he was moving on foot, he understood the pain of the people, the sorrow of the people, how the people struggled, socially how they were ill-treated. Okay, all this he came to know, he experienced it all. As long as people of India are in the clutches of poverty and hunger. What do you mean the clutches? Clutches means what, children? Clutches means you will, the lame person will need a clutch to walk. Have you seen, he will keep the stick like this, and with that he will walk and go. That is the support for him, clutches. Okay, and the clutches for people, those who cannot walk, they will hold the clutch and walk. So that when the Indian people were in the clutches of poverty and hunger. Okay, because when he went on foot, he was able to see all the problems that the Indians were facing. Okay, I will take birth again and again in India to eradicate them. He was inspired. He was having the thought that he will change India, so that he should be born again and again. Because after his death, he cannot stop that. Before his death, he cannot stop completely. So he is telling, after my death also, I will come and eradicate. I will eradicate the hunger and poverty in India, he declared. His main aim was to control the sorrow of the people, the plight of Indian people. He saw that sorrow of people. They were struggling due to hunger and poverty. So now his mind was transformed. His mind got pity. So he is telling, after my death also, I will be born again and again to eradicate. That he was declaring it. Okay. He established Ramakrishna Mission to continue service to humanity. He wanted to serve humans. So he established a Ramakrishna Mission. Oh, the Swami, that is Vivekananda, he started the Ramakrishna Mission to serve humanity. He had great concern for women and said, welfare of women is the welfare of our country. He said that welfare of women is the welfare of our country. That means what? If the position, if the status of women will be okay, if they are getting equal rights, then the country will be a welfare country. Okay? He gave a call for uplift of Indian service to the women. He dreamed of upliftment. His dream was always to uplift the women. Because he said, women's welfare of the women is the welfare of our country. When the status of women will improve, when the position of the women will improve, then naturally the country's welfare will also be improved. That's what he meant. That's what he dreamt. Vivekananda, he dreamt about the upliftment of Indian society. He wanted to eradicate poverty and hunger from India. Okay, so that was his dream. And also he started a mission, that is Ramakrishna Mission, to continue his service to humanity. Okay, because he was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Okay, so where was he born? He was born in Calcutta in 1863, January 12. His first name was Narendra Datta. What was his first name? His first name was Narendra Datta. Okay, so that was his life. Bal Gangadhar Tilak has called Swami Vivekananda as the father of Indian nationalism. What did Rabindranath call Rajaram Mohan Rai as? Rabindranath Tagore, he called Rajaram Mohan Rai as the father of modernism. Okay, Rabindranath called him as the father of modernism, whereas here Bal Gangadhar Tilak has called this Vivekananda as the father of Indian nationalism. Nationalism is bringing unity in India. Okay, so many people including Subhash Chandra Bose were influenced by his writings. Okay, before going to Chicago, Swami Vivekananda has visited princely states of Mysuru. Chamaraja Odayar invited him to the palace and lent financial support for his visit to Chicago. There, the Raja, that is Chamaraja Odayar, it is about the Theosophical Society. Theosophical Society founded in 1875. Theosophical Society was established by this H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel H.S. Olcott. It is in New York in 1875. It was started and founded by them. Okay, the International Center of the Society, which is located in Adyar near Madras. Okay, later Dr. Annie Besant became its president. Then what happened? H.P. Blavatsky was a good writer. She was a good writer and expressed her ideas, whatever ideas she is having about the social condition of Indian people. She wrote it in a book. She prevailed it in her ideas of humanism, human brotherhood, philosophy, comparative religion and truth of nature. All these things she expressed in her books. That's because she was a good writer. Okay, Dr. Annie Besant was influenced by the Indian culture and translated Bhagavad Gita to English. Okay, she published New India's newspapers named. She led the theosophical movement strongly in India. Okay, Annie Besant, she later on continued the work and she started the writing India's newspaper, New India. That was the newspaper. She started a newspaper, that is New India. She led the Theosophical Society strongly in India. Objectives. What are the objectives of Theosophical Society? That is to inculcate universal brotherhood by eliminating discrimination. She told there should not be any discrimination. Discrimination should be eliminated. It should be eliminated and inculcate to bring in brotherhood among the people. Spirit of brotherhood should be in them. Eradication, that is inequality or discrimination, should be completely eradicated from the society. Then to study Dharma. She also forced the people to study Dharma, philosophy and science to comparative approach. By comparing what does the Dharma say, what does the science say. She said that people should walk in reality. Okay. Next, to investigate the hidden aspects of nature and hidden power in human being. So many hidden treasures are there inside the mind of the people. She is asking them to bring it out. Whatever is hidden in nature, what are the secrets are hidden? She is telling them to bring in force. Okay, so these are all the basic objectives of Theosophical Society, in which she trusts the people to inculcate brotherhood and also to study Dharma, philosophy, okay, and science through comparative approach. Then Annie Besant, she started a Central Hindu College in Banaras. She started a college in Banaras. Later it became Banaras Hindu University. Okay, she established an organization, Torch Bearers, to eradicate child marriage. And superstitious. Okay. Later on, she started Home Rule movement in India. These are all the achievements of Annie Besant. Okay. She was the first woman president of Indian National Congress. She was the first woman president of the Indian National Congress, Annie Besant. Okay. She continued. She led the theosophical movement strongly in India. Her objectives were also very strong. And she started the Home Rule movement also. And she started a Central Hindu College in Banaras, and later it became Banaras Hindu University. First college and then it was transferred into university. These are all the good attempts done by Annie Besant. Theosophical Society. Okay, she started the Home Rule in India. Next, after that, it is about Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, he started the Aligarh movement. Most of the Muslims were suspicious of the Western education and also believed that it is against the interest of their religion. Many of them had the doubt. They were doubting about the Western culture, Western education, because they thought that it was against their religion. Okay, so in 1863 CE, Nawab Abdul Latif had started Mohammedan Literary Society. He tried to spread English education among the Muslims through it. Okay, through that society, he started to educate the Muslim people. It also tried to bring in harmony among Hindu and Muslims. Okay. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan provided the attempt to form of a movement. Okay, where was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan born? He was born in Delhi in 1817 CE and was a judiciary officer in the East India Company. He wanted Muslim youth to have proper employment in the company government by getting good education. These are all the thoughts that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was having. Okay, as a social reformer, he opposed Parda system. You know, Muslim people, they should compulsorily wear the Parda. So what happened? He opposed the Parda system. Polygamy means having more than one wife at the same time. Okay, and divorce system. Okay, divorce was very evil thing present in the society. They don't like divorce was the only means they thought, because polygamy was there. Okay, in order to translate English literature into Urdu, he established Translation Society because he wanted to translate into Urdu, the language which the people were easily understood. They were not able to understand English. Maybe in their own language they were able to understand that. So later on he started a society, that is Translation Society. Later it became Scientific Society. Okay. In order to promote rationality among Muslims, he began publishing a newspaper, Aligarh Institute Gazette. What is that? Aligarh Institute Gazette. It was published in English and Urdu language. He started the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College in 1875 CE. It became Aligarh Muslim University in 1920. It's okay. So what are how many of the reformers I have told you so far? Yes, it is Raja Ram Mohan Rai, then Swami Vivekananda, then Swami Dayananda Saraswati, then it is Mahatma Jyotibai Phule, Atmaram Panduranga, Annie Besant and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Now next it is about Sri Narayana Guru. Okay, next it is about Sri Narayana Guru. His influence is considered in Karnataka. Sri Narayana Guru is an important saint and a social reformer. He is important saint as well as a social reformer. He was born in Edava family in Travancore. Where was he born? He was born in Edava family in Travancore in 1854. When was he born? He was born in 1854. He established Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalana Yojam. Okay, he established in 1903. Through this institution, he tried for the social, economical, cultural, educational development of communities like Edava and others downtrodden communities. The Edava is a downtrodden community only. Okay, it is a SC caste. Okay, so He opposed caste system and animal sacrifice. Okay, he opened Sanskrit college and provided Sanskrit education irrespective of caste. Irrespective of caste, whether you are upper class, whether you are scheduled caste, whether you are untouchable, whatever it is, irrespective of a caste, he opened a schools and colleges, Sanskrit education centers he opened. He established good library in all temples. In all the temples, he opened a good libraries. He declared one God, one religion. It was the topic, it was his top that one God, one religion. There I told you Raja Mohan God, one supreme God, isn't it? Here it is about the one God, one religion. This was said by Sri Narayana Guru, who was born in 1854 in Travancore. Okay, he was born in 1854 in Travancore. He is also one of the social reformers, social and religious reformer. Next, it is about the women social reformers. Till now I was talking about men social reformers, but now it is about the women social reformers. Okay, next I am going to explain about some of the women social reformers. Some of the women social reformers are Madam H.P. Blavatsky, Annie Besant, Savitribai Phule, Tarabai Shinde, Pandit Ramabai are the main Indian social women reformers in India. Savitribai Phule, she was a prominent social and education reformer and a poetess. She started a school for girls in Pune along with her husband Jyotibai Phule. In the beginning itself I told you, Jyotibai Phule was supported by his wife, that is Savitribai Phule. She tried to stop infanticide by opening a rehabilitation center for child widow. The abolition of the aborting of the female child. Okay, she opposed that. She fought against gender discrimination. She wanted equality for men as well as women and caste system. For this, she had to face resistance from the society to overcome. She wanted equality along with men and women. She wanted equal opportunity for women also. Women also should be educated. For that reason, she started a school and worked as a teacher in that school. She herself was a teacher. She wanted to educate the girls and she had so many resistance from the society. Many of the people were against her. She shouldered the responsibility of social struggle waged by her husband Jyotibai Phule. She led Satya Sodak Samaj after the death of her husband. This is Jyotibai Phule. He started this, that is the Satya Sodak Samaj, and this one was continued by this Savitribai Phule after the death of her husband also. While treating the patients of plague along with her son, she died of fate. While she was treating some of the patients, that is plague patient, along with them, she and her son, both of them were died. Okay. Next it is about Tarabai Shinde. She is the first woman fighter of Maharashtra. Tarabai Shinde, she was the first fighter of Maharashtra. She was a member of Satya Sodak Samaj of Jyotibai Phule and participated actively in the struggles of the Samaj. She supported protection of child widows and widow remarriages. She has opposed the exploitation of women. Her book Sri Purusha Tulana, she wrote in her book, the women should be given equal rights. She was against, that is, with child marriage. Okay, she supported the widow remarriage. She was in support of the widow remarriage and she opposed the exploitation of women. All these reforms she was done. Next it is Pandit Ramabai. She was a famous Christian reformer of India. Pandit Ramabai, she was a famous Christian reformer of India. She was born in Gangamula of Western Ghats as the daughter of Anna Shastri, Dongri and Lakshmi Bai. She received her education which was against the practice. She against the practice, she started to learn the Vedas, philosophy, books, knowledge. She accepted Christianity while studying in England. Okay, though she was born in a Hindu family, she accepted Christianity while studying in England. She dedicated her life for the betterment of women in India and established Mukti Mission in 1889. Pandit Ramabai, she started a mission that is called as Mukti Mission in 1889. This institution actively today and provides rehabilitation to widows, orphans and alcoholic addicts. What is rehabilitation? Rehabilitation centers, it is a shelter place. The drunkard people will be taken there. They will be given meditation. They will be given treatment. Okay, such people are taken to the rehabilitation center. So that one was very useful for the alcoholism people also. Okay, these are all the women social reformers. So all the women social reformers are Madam H.P. Blavatsky, Annie Besant, Savitribai Phule, Tarabai Shinde, Pandit Ramabai are the main Indian. These were all the social and religious reformers during the time. Okay, they all fought for the social evils that were present in our Indian society. They started their own missions and thus they helped the Indian society. Understood, children? So that is the lesson today, and I will be sending you the notes for the first lesson, that is the advent of Europeans to India. That lesson notes, I don't know whether I have already sent it, but once again I will send it to you. You just copy that notes and write down the notes. Okay, children? Thank you.